Welcome to episode 126 of the Eavesdrop Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Coinbase, Surfshark, and Trade Coffee, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them later on today. We're also, coincidentally, on the 126 times that Maven has appeared on the podcast.
Wait just a second, and you know you're a big fan.
Third,
of me.
if you include the Hardpoint.
Oh, I guess that's true. But we have a passion and a love for each other. That
We do.
Yeah.
It's those eyelashes.
Yeah, I've always been told like my girlfriends or fiance of the past, they get very jealous because like the eyelashes.
You've had several
eyebrows.
fiancesses?
Only one.
Yeah.
Only one. Yeah. But they get jealous because they got to work for that stuff, and I just naturally beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Dude, I wanted to holler at you, obviously throughout the process of you coming back or not coming back and then appearing and doing all this stuff. But we'll leave that for the middle part or the second part, right after the ads.
Yeah,
we'll bring that.
Perfect.
What I was gonna say is that I really thought that when you know how Lottie left to go to Halo strictly, I thought that that's what you were gonna do because you love Halo so much.
Yeah, I mean,
remember you coming up to people and putting your dick on their shoulders?
No, I would never do that, dude. I never.
I'm kidding.
I love no, but I always have a love for Halo because like Halo 1 was like my first kind of first love when it came to competitive gaming. That's where I started casting with Gandhi back in the day. There were times last year where at least my agent had talked to him a little bit about maybe getting involved, but it was one of those things where we didn't know what was going on with the CDL, and I would have had to pull the trigger before, and just wasn't ready to. Like I still is, I've said it before, but eventually we're gonna get this COD thing right. I want to be there for it. Like when we finally nail it and blow up. Yeah, I wasn't ready to move on quite yet.
I think we're on that path, and we've been on that path for the last 13 years. And then just when you think you're there, you're not. Right?
Yeah, it's just been a one step forward, two steps backwards sometimes. Where you find some improvements, something gets fixed, and something else pops up. Yeah, I could talk about that topic alone for about 100 years, but yeah, I mean, this year just having esports engine alone has solved a lot of my frustrations. It's good to see those guys back in action, and the broadcast has been great.
I still to this day wonder why they haven't tried to buy the naming rights back for MLG. You know what I mean? Like, they're not. Activision isn't doing shit with it. Like they're not doing anything with it. And if I'm Adam, if I'm even Sonny and Sepso, like I make an offer. Like they'd be surprised, I bet.
Yeah, I don't know how that whole thing works. But
well, I'll tell you how it works.
It has certainly come full circle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
sure.
I'll tell you exactly how it works because it happened to me. People buy something, they bought it for $38 million plus a whole bunch of other secret shit that we don't know about, right? Like that's what the headline said. 38 million. Activision buys MLG for $38 million. Blah 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 blah. But there's obviously like back stuff that we don't know, right? Back of the envelope shit. But they haven't done anything with it, and it's been a good 5-6 years, right? Since the transition.
It is just weird to have a brand like that size and how significant MLG was and
relevant to the culture.
Not only North America, but just kind of overall. It is weird.
Yeah.
That's just sort of lying dormant.
Yeah, and to me that's like that's wasted opportunity there. And I don't think and the thing is like the brand that Activision holds right now as MLG isn't as valuable as it once was. So offload that shit. The same way that they should have offloaded the camo making to us, to the orgs. Like we were begging, let us free up your creators and your digital people off so we can create our let's take some time off and make it good. Give us a template, give us like how you would like it to be uniform, and then we'll play within those parameters.
It might just be one of those things too where like maybe they just kind of have moved on. Like in the sense of when you look back to MLG, that was sort of, Adam Epicel was involved, but it was very much like Sonny and Sepso's baby. But now they've kind of moved on to bigger things, and now Esports Engine's kind of Adam's thing. And they're crushing it. Yeah. So there's not that much of a desire. Like they're kind of good. Like they moved on. They're killing it. I don't know. Like I hear you. Like, it's weird to have a brand like that lying out there, but they're doing well.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, when you build something in your part, like Adam and I are alike, and not as you and him are alike because of the amount of buttheading that you guys have done.
Yeah,
right?
we've done that. And we love the same fantasy books, so we talk about that a lot. Yeah.
Which one is that?
Well, some of our favorite books. It's the King Killer Chronicles, Dresden Files. We love anything by Brandon Sanderson. We are dorks, man. Like we love fantasy series. So like we still 99% of our conversations are about like when is a fantasy book coming out? Did you read the recent one? That is like all we talk about.
Yeah.
Which most people probably don't realize. But yeah, we're just some fantasy dorks, which is great because
Last book I read was Zeev or Zachariah, and it was in high school. That was the last time. Oh no, well, I mean, but I read like, I think I killed my willingness to read something in high school because of the amount of shit that I read. Mostly conspiracy stuff, right? Like,
you see, I've never been like I've always been like a sci-fi fantasy person. I've never like dabbled with fiction too much.
Well, fiction, conspiracies aren't fiction.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. Well, sorry, I meant like nonfiction. Well, whatever you want to call it. Like
I don't even know.
Yeah. I like.
It's under New Age. That's all I know.
I just like to be taken away to a magical land, bro. Like I just have my Audible on. I'm like, take me away. Take me away to the land of dragons.
Yeah. I would. Again, Z for Zachariah takes place. Have you ever heard of it? Read of it?
I've heard of it. I have not read it.
So good. You should. You'd enjoy it. It's post-apocalyptic stuff.
Oh, see, I roll with that.
Yeah, and it's really good. And then there was another book.
Wait, I feel like I watched. Was there a movie?
There was a movie with Margot Robbie.
I may have watched the movie.
Chris Pine, and the black dude, super famous, great actor.
No, I can picture. I think I watched it. I think I watched the movie.
Yeah, wasn't great
ages ago, and I thought it was all right. But no,
did you watch Batman?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
No, I want to.
When do you want to go?
Yes, terribly. The only issue has been that like I like that it's 3 hours long because I'm a person that always wants movies to be longer. But with our current schedule, we're not wrapping till like
8, 9,
if not later.
It's actually 10 for you guys, right?
Yeah. So like we're wrapping pretty late. And then back in pretty early, like I don't know if going to see Batman for 3 hours long at the end, I'll just be fried the next day. So might have to hold off on that. But I do want to see it. Like people are all hesitant about like Robert Pattinson. I love the guy.
Same.
So like,
but not as Batman.
I get it. I
look at Matty's chin and his jawline. See, that's Batman.
I was excited for
Robert
like
Pattinson.
I just like. You just need to be. He's a great actor. Like if you'd only watch like Twilight and like various things, like I feel like there are some people who've seen like Harry Potter and Twilight. That's it. But he's done like so many brilliant films.
God, he was in Harry Potter, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was Cedric Diggory, dude.
Holy shit!
Spoiler alert, but his ass is dead. Yeah.
Jesus, I forgot that he was a part of that. So,
my boy, dude, it was like the saddest scene. I was crying. Oh fuck, it was a sad scene.
Hutch wanted and wants this Batman to not only be the greatest ever, but he wants to sort of snowball and sort of roll Robert Pattinson's role as Batman into the new James Bond. And Diesel and I said that he's not handsome enough or rugged enough to be a Bond.
I disagree.
You think he would be a good Bond?
I think he'd be fine because I guess I just think I am acting talent first when it comes to any of that. Like that is literally the definition of what it is to be an actor. Being able to like be something maybe people don't see you as. I think he'd be fine. I think he could do whatever. I think he's actually an incredible actor. Got no issue with it. But the whole like handsome thing, I don't know. Like look back at some of the actors past. Like he's fine. There's been a lot of 100%. Bonds, bro. They're not all like 10 out of 10 beautiful.
No, but I mean the perfection that the latest Bond what's his name? Daniel Craig, like the perfection that he embodied as James Bond, like has never. And look, I'm 42 years old and I've been watching Bonds all my life, from what's his name to what's his name to what's his name to what's the.
Well, I think Pierce. I started with who was it that did Goldeneye? Was it Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan.
Am I
but that was high school. That was high school.
Yeah, like that. Those were good.
Before that, Sean Connery played a good Bond. Again,
I wanted Idris Elba real bad.
So do I.
Real bad. I first saw him I think on The Wire, and ever since, like anything he's been involved in, I basically watched. I think he is the fucking man.
You put me onto The Wire.
Dude, it's the best show ever. It's so good.
You put me on, and I watched it, and I thought it was awesome. But my first introduction to Idris Elba was through a movie called Rock and Rolla.
Oh, no, I've seen
Guy
that.
Ritchie's.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll.
Yeah, well, that's like the Snatch and Lock, Stock and all that various stuff. And then weirdly, like the King Arthur movie,
Which was good.
No, it was solid, but like
Yeah.
that was so like not what I expected.
It's not even in my top 5
Yeah,
of Guy Ritchie movies. The thing about the Hutch situation is just like in his politics and his view of politics is that he just doesn't back down. He will never admit that he's wrong, and he'll pretend to admit that he's right. But you know how it goes.
No, him and I have gotten into it because our big thing is. Listen, I love Interstellar. I think it's a good movie. I do actually think it's one of the most overrated films of all time, purely because it is a great sci-fi film, but the number of people that have it as like their number one or like is the single greatest sci-fi masterpiece of all time. Like,
Arrival for me.
There are a lot. Well, Arrival. Yeah, I thought Arrival was a much better film, and they came out around the same time. But it's just like the number of people that think it's the greatest film ever. I'm like, you're blasted. But is it? Have I seen it 10 times? Yes. Do I love it? Is it one of the most rewatchable films? 100%. I love it. But like, dude, Hutch, it's like Hutch is number one. I'm just like, I always tell him, I'll tweet him like, God, just don't forget, it's overrated, like real overrated. He gets so pissed off. He'll DM me. He's like, you're trying to get me riled up today. I'm like, yeah.
It's working, huh? Because you're DMing me. Yeah, he'll pretend like he's not, but it is. And it's the simplest, easiest thing. We have an Umu thread, and Fwiz is in it. And one of the last things that Hutch
Fwiz is good at getting somebody riled up, let me tell you.
Yeah?
No, he knows how to get on people's skin 100%, so he probably has fun with Hutch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's like, guys, you guys, it's like he's in Hawaii trying to enjoy his Dune book and his, lovely fiance and the views and sceneries. And here's, me and Fwiz talking super Republican shit to him, and he's like, "Oh my God, this wouldn't have happened." And he's just like, "Guys, you guys aren't gonna get me riled up, just so we're clear." But the fact that you're writing it, it's easier to ignore.
But one thing him and I see, I love Dune. Holy hell! Like he just started reading the book. He was hitting me up. I said, "I didn't realize this and this." I'm like, yeah, man.
You read the book?
It's gonna get crazy. Oh yeah. So I've read the first book like 5 times. I never went further because I just always heard it kind of goes downhill. And the first book is a story in itself. You can just read the first book and stop. And that's what I did. I've read the first book many times, but never continued on. But yeah, no, it's great. It's great.
Now, obviously I just don't want to read the books because it's gonna ruin the future movies.
I don't think you need to. I think Denis Villeneuve is God, and he has done a fantastic job with it. So it's weird because I was always a person that, well, since we're talking about books and stuff and movies, I was a big reader. So a lot of times I'd always had read the source material before I would see a movie, and that usually leaves you wanting or pissed off in some way with something they changed. So I'm more now. I recommend to people like enjoy the movie and then read the book.
Yeah.
Because then you can fill in the gaps and get more information and not be like I was most of my life, where I'm just watching it like, that's not how I saw that happening. Like, I don't know. I think it's better to do it that way.
Do you watch any shows or
lately?
Movies, obviously, but shows.
Lately, not much at all. I've weirdly been watching just because I'm a fantasy dork. I was looking for something on Netflix, and I started watching Merlin, this show from like BBC, like 20 years ago, and I've been loving it. It's just a show about like King Arthur and Merlin and stuff.
Yeah, is it with the? No, that's what's the name of the?
Don't you love when you can't think of a name? Just like
no,
on the
I
spot?
see it. It's like Waller. It was a movie. Anyway, I don't think it's the same people that were a movie, but like, I'll be honest with you, this is my schedule right now. Yeah.
I wake up at 7 a.m. I need to get on Warzone so Teep and Joe don't yell at me. I play Warzone until about 12 or 2, and then I play Lost Ark until midnight, and then I go to sleep. And then I wake up and repeat that every single day.
Where's Kat and all this?
So she's hanging out with the dogs. Yeah, she's chilling.
Papa's got him.
Yeah. So it's just been... I just been grinding, bro.
Lost Ark?
Lost Ark's been a problem. It's fun.
So as soon as you're done with, I mean, are you ever done with Lost Ark, or is it one of those?
Sort of play it forever. Yeah, it's like a World of Warcraft type MMO.
Oh, so you're not gonna get into the Elden Ring?
No, I will eventually. That's the number of times I got asked that while I was streaming. Like, are you gonna play Elden Ring? Like, yes, I will. But like, I have an addiction right now to Lost Ark. Elden Ring looks. Those are my. So have you played any of those Dark Souls games?
No.
Dude, I would love to see. I love watching people that haven't played those before hop in, because it is an experience. It is.
Visually, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Like I walked in on Marcus playing it, and I was just like, he's like, oh, I'm like, that looks amazing. He's like, dude, you don't even know. I'm underground right now. I'm in the core of the earth. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, he pulls up the map. He's like, look, it's not showing because I'm underneath the fucking earth.
Yeah, it's like the only there's not many, like, I guess you call it like dark fantasy type games, but the worlds they create are just beautiful and horrific because you will die
Several times.
a lot. Oh,
I can't play those games.
No,
Not my thing. I'm a
different.
point and shoot or Minecraft kind of guy.
It's one of those things where like you bash your head against a wall for a while, but then you find no greater satisfaction when you finally beat some boss you've been working on for a day or two. It takes a different breed, but it's been cool to see a lot of different people playing it. Like I've seen like Dr. Disrespect and some people like that maybe don't normally play those games, like grinding out. It's been funny.
Yeah, I get concerned as a player. I get concerned, like if I was a streamer, I would be as apprehensive as they are currently on switching game modes the way that they are, right? But more often than not, they're gonna follow the streamer because that's what they're there for. That's that relationship that they develop. So like I can totally see it. But I would be like, when we switched from Call of Duty to Minecraft, that was like not scary because Minecraft was gonna be Minecraft, and that was easy to see, right? So if CNanners, who became big when he became big through Call of Duty, and he made the flip over to Minecraft, and I think that it was okay for us to do it too. One of the biggest, not mistakes, but one of the biggest missed opportunities, bro, is if I was CNanners at that time, I would have reached out to Mojang. I would have tried and I don't know if he did or didn't, and I love Adam, but like he should have gotten a piece of Mojang because he put them on the map. I firmly believe that he was one of the dudes that put them on the map, if not the dude.
All I know about Mojang is that I had a couple nights at Notch's house that were...
Yeah. Nice. Beautiful house. The first,
there's shit happened I cannot talk about, but there was some...
Yeah, I believe it.
Beautiful home.
Oh, dude, I walked in there, I felt poor.
Oh, yeah.
Bro,
no, 100%.
It had been a long time since I felt that way.
Well, it's like, I'm doing well for myself now, but there was a time when I first got involved in this scene. I mean, when I first started casting, I wasn't making any money, or I had a very entry level position when I first joined MLG, and I'm in LA hanging out with you or Nate and Fwiz, and it's just and Jack when he blew up. I'm just like, man, if I'm ever in trouble, I've got some rich friends. But dude, it's just like, it's tough. I just felt like, I just felt poor. But you go to that type of house. So we just did this In the Know Bowl that was also in like Beverly Hills in like a mansion, and it's just like,
a what Noble?
It was In the Know Bowl. It was like with the NFL and stuff.
Yeah,
so like it was cool. We were hanging out with like Jarvis Landry and stuff. Joe is geeking, bro, because he's a Browns fan. But we were at another like $35 million like just Beverly Hills house, just looking over LA. It's just like one day.
Yeah. Notch's is twice that though.
Yeah, no. Notch's he had a whole room dedicated to candy. I mean, literally, it was just a candy room. I don't know what was going on there. I walked in, I'm like, what is that? That's just a room filled with candy.
There's nothing. He's like, yo, you don't put anything behind. He's like, there's nothing to steal. How are they gonna steal this fucking motorcycle? This fucking James Bond.
He's such a nice dude. Like he's just I didn't like, I don't really know him well. I went with Fwiz, but like I had like one convo with him, and he was just a nice like gamer. Like it's like Thork, like we all are. It was cool.
Yeah, I've been there where there's no party and it's just people chilling with Jericho and everybody else. And it was
I miss Jericho. He's a funny guy.
I just did an episode, a podcast.
Oh,
smoking the Pine Park.
There you go.
With him about a month ago.
Yeah.
And boy, I tell you, that guy does not he is the epitome of knowing how to pivot and knowing how to find a different groove than what he's in to not keep himself bored. The fact that dude has been around for as long as he has.
Yeah.
Like anybody that's a graduate of Machinima days and is still around today, hats off to them, because I know it's difficult. I don't know how I've done it.
Well, I think to be fair, if you were in that type of thing at the time, you're kind of ahead of the curve. So I think for some of you just kind of keep seeing the next thing on the horizon.
But think about the amount of people that fell off though. Like even Machinima fell off.
Yeah, true.
The unicorn that it was, that was $1 billion business ready to fucking be $1 billion business. Just little by little, imagination just took the best of them. They started doing documentaries that weren't relevant or made sense. They didn't take off, and little by little.
Well, I think a lot.
That's by $100,000 every time.
I think it's just a lot of times what happens is you have something small that's incredible potential, but when you to have to scale it larger and bring in a lot of new people, it's a shit show, and that's how it is for a lot of different things. It's hard, man.
I don't think that they explore the right things. They had everything. They had Machinima Sports. They had Machinima fucking Insight. They had everything. Rooster Teeth, right? Like Rooster Teeth started there.
They did the Red versus Blue. Oh my god, man! I still own season 1 on DVD.
A Red versus Blue?
DVD.
Yeah.
That shit was comedy to me. I loved it so much.
I just hung out with Jeff Ramsey, one of the founders of Rooster Teeth, about 2 weeks ago. Well, 3 weeks ago. Flew down to Austin, had a meeting, and I was like, everything that you guys are doing with Rooster Teeth is what I wanted to do with Optic, like towards the end of the first side of Optic before I sold it. But that was my vision, right? Like that's what I wanted to mold it into, like subscription that offers a lot more stuff, and little by little you become something bigger and bigger and bigger. And he's like, yeah, well, we did the right things, and we're trying to get back to like the soul of that shit. And they said that, well, he said that it's like he went through the same thing that sort of I did, right? Like when you are building something, you're so passionate, and there's no error that you can make because it's that precious to you. So that's what they were, right? Like when they were building this thing to become what it was, they were having so much fun doing it that there was no way to make a mistake. Therefore, the business was thriving.
Yeah.
But when new money comes in to expand and be bigger, that's when you sort of lose your step, because one, you're not as hungry anymore because you have food on the table, and your imagination sort of just gets guided by somebody else's imagination that's sort of in there advising and proposing and suggesting, right? When they needed none of that. They may have needed the money to expand, but from the ideation side of the business, like it should have only been on them.
Yeah, I read something. Oh God, what was it? It was something about misconceptions in the gaming industry, and it was about being an idea man.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was sort of like, doesn't really exist unless one of two things happens. You do have enough good ideas consistently that someone with enough money trusts you to be that person, or you have enough money to have the ideas to pay someone then to make your idea a reality. But like the thought of an idea person, that's not really a thing.
No,
like,
it is. I mean, everybody has ideas.
Yeah,
there's no executioners.
Yeah,
the executors.
Now people are getting their heads cut off. Like, what are we?
No, just like the execution of the ideas. You know what I mean?
I just picture someone like the Black Mask just
immediately fucking get brought back to Lord of the Rings season 1. Not Lord of the Rings. Game of Thrones season 1. There's spoilers, I guess, where the dad.
No, I think you're safe.
Where
at
the
this
dad
point.
gets,
Yeah, so there's an
Arya's
example.
like,
That's a great example of someone earlier. That is.
That's not how it happens in the book.
No, yes, that season 1 was pretty damn true. Season 2 and onward is a shit show compared to the books.
Yeah.
But that's a book series I started reading 20 years ago, and yeah, when it got to the point, I mean, I started getting more and more pissed off every season, just more and more. I'm like, what the shit is happening? Like, this is a clusterfuck. I was just getting mad. And then when they eventually, this is probably one of my worst experiences when you talk book and TV or book and movies. When they got to the point where his ass hadn't written the books and the show passed the book, so something I'd been waiting for 20 years, the show passed it in the way it did, I was just like, That one,
I didn't know that.
I was in a rage. Oh yeah, I mean we're still waiting on book 6.
It's
Winds of Winter. I think
completely different.
So I guess he's basically said a lot of the key things that have happened with characters will be the same, but they're very different beasts. Which I had to learn to accept that. It's like the show's one thing, the books are another thing. I had to.
Shit like that makes me not, because I loved Game of Thrones. Even the ending, as lazy as it may have been, I still was entertained, and it was like I liked it. Arya was the one that ended.
Yeah, it just needed
spoiler.
It just needed a couple more years.
It did. I agree, but at the same time, it is HBO, and HBO has the fucking best track record of canceling good, and I mean, I guess it's a.
To my understanding, it was, who were the two? Well, God, who were the two people working on it? Like the writers and the
two
show
writers that are the ones that said no more.
Yeah, they were leaving. Like
but
Star
I'm just
Wars
saying,
or something.
as an HBO subscriber that has been subscribed to them since
God
Carnival,
it's God tier. Yeah.
That they get rid of series that do really well, unless they are excellent. They don't give them the proper send off. Rome too expensive. Fucking excellent, best political show ever.
Rome was
Deadwood.
amazing. I mean, if I picked like my top 20 shows of all time, HBO probably has 15 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been incredible, but yeah, I guess it was frustrating for me to just hear that HBO would have done it properly, but the showrunners were sort of like, "Nah, we're good. We can handle it in this long." I'm like, "No, you couldn't."
Yeah.
But this is what it is.
Well, it's not a blemish on their network for sure.
No, I don't think so. Because I mean, I flat out, yeah, it wasn't. They wanted to keep it going. That's the most successful show they've had in the history of the program. Yeah, I don't think they were rushing.
Was that
to
the
get
most
it out.
successful show in the history of just
HBO for sure?
Just
and
HBO?
Maybe. Probably not television history ever, but
Do you think The Office was better or something like that?
no. Well, I know this. If you're talking like all time peak, I think the most watched like episode of all time is like the MASH finale. We're going way back. That's I remember looking at. I'm a dork and I read about this, but like MASH was like one of them. HBO's probably up there. It's just hard when you're a premium network. But I think if you took how much it was torrented and pirated, then it might be like number one all time. But it was the most like pirated show of all time by a mile because it was on HBO.
Yeah. That makes sense. I didn't even take into consideration the fact that every show can be accessible to anyone, anywhere, at any time. And MASH was no technology; it was just TV.
Well,
TV.
If it's something on like NBC, like like basically everybody has access to it. HBO is not the same beast. Yeah,
183. No, but when is it?
Is that still number one? MASH. Yeah. So MASH is like 106 million, like their finale or something.
Wow.
I remember like one day I like dove into that. And I saw that. I was like, damn.
So to repeat what Matt said is like it's all Super Bowls up until the 7th spot, and that's where MASH is. And then below MASH or after the 7th spot is all Super Bowl again.
Yeah.
But that's television, right? Like that's not including digital and media. Yeah, live viewership.
Yeah.
Okay. Concurrent watchers as you Twitch viewers and
yeah. So
YouTube
that's why I think it
listen to.
stuck with me is that I looked at a list one time and yeah, it was like that. It was just like literally Super Bowls and then MASH in the middle there. I was like, sheesh. People love MASH, I guess. Well, to be fair, my dad, like my parents love that. I just that was before my time. So
when in February did you turn 37?
15th, day after Valentine's Day.
Happy birthday! If I didn't wish you one,
Oh,
as an
no
Aquarius,
problem.
my
Thank you.
Aquarius brother, you know,
Yeah,
I fuck with Februarians.
I'm old, man. I feel like I'm 20, but I'm 37. It's crazy.
So we wouldn't have been in the same high school. I would have graduated as you became a freshman, but we still, I think, had the same sort of experience growing up.
I'm sure somewhere.
Right. And lately, I've been going down this nostalgic route, and it's bad because I've been looking at little arcade machines and things that I like used to play as a kid.
Yeah.
And you know, when you go down that route, you sort of become you sort of start spending money that you shouldn't, right? And I did a really good job at not buying any of those arcades. And I even if I would have spent I believe $3,500 that it is to buy one machine that has all of the arcade games ever made, I just still couldn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, that's not even. I thought it'd be more, I guess.
No.
But those, dude, I don't want to do that because those games were so hard. Like the way I remember just going to, I think it was like a Round Table Pizza or something when I lived in California and playing the X-Men one and just getting my ass kicked.
Yeah, Battletoads.
Yeah, those games they were hard.
Ninja Gaiden.
Man. Well, they were probably made to keep you slotting in quarters too. It's like they were unforgiving in a lot of ways.
There was this one that I have dreams of that is like this sort of like ninja dude, and I don't think it's Dragon Balls. It can't be, but it's like this ninja dude that
was like Ninja Gaiden.
No, it's like he looks like like Kakarot. He looks like Goku,
Okay.
right? He's got a red suit and he does like turn into this fire guy. But it couldn't have been.
Oh God, I don't remember.
It could not have been Dragon Balls because it's like this was like 1984.
Did you see this? Made me think of. Did you see that clip that kind of went viral of the girl? It was like a young college girl, and she was playing like the Lion King game from like the arcade game from back in the day, and she just dies like twice, like right away, and she's just like, what is this? Like, it was so hard. It was like a Disney game. But like those games, bro, back in the day, like everyone talks about, Elden Ring and Dark Souls and stuff now, but like back then, like, dude, everything was hard. Like, a lot of the games were tough, man. It was
Well,
it was
because
crazy.
there was no way to give you clues or explanations. Like, there was no text
Yeah,
that
right?
you can put. That,
like
that wouldn't be-
waypoints and stuff.
You
Like,
couldn't shrink text back then, right? So there was no way for you to, like, you know, deliver an entire instruction as to where you need to go.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, maybe it's by a tree. You know, like, okay, well, I'm in Kakariko Village, bitch. Like, where the fuck
oh,
you want me to go?
dude, did you ever play that game? It was like one of those point and click adventures, and it was at like a haunted house. Oh God, you had to, like, this is so old school. You had to, like, type, like, walk up to the door. You would type that, and then, like, the door's locked, and there was like a pumpkin on the ground, and you'd be like, pick up pumpkin, drop pumpkin, like a key would be in it, like put key. You'd have to type all this, and then, dude, the games like that, like, oh, I'm old. Holy shit, I'm old.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that was, but I remember getting so frustrated with that goddamn game.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody in the comment section knows, but for me, it's I get really nostalgic. The one thing that I'm definitely doing right now, 100%, is getting my bike from the bike that I got as a gift in 1989.
Okay.
Which is a you know, it's like a what do you call those? Like a BMX.
Okay.
But it's not a BMX. It was a Columbia. I think it had white, like, ceramic rims. Not ceramic. It was white plastic rims. It was black and green with white rim. Bro, it was fucking, like, optic colored out. But from 1989. And I hit up my cousin who still lives on the border. I think he lives on the El Paso side, then Juarez. But I told him to go to my grandma's house to see if it was there. And he's
gonna
like,
get that, like, all fixed up. And
I'm like, no. I'm gonna be like, yo, listen, if you see it and it's there, do not touch it. Leave it where it's at. Do not unearth it. Like, if you see a handlebar, just call me. Don't do anything else.
Yeah.
Back out of there.
Could be, like, worth a lot now.
Maddie and I, bro, you know how much they are?
How much?
Fucking $5,000.
No shit.
For
really.
the refurbished one. You can find a frame. Matt, type in 1990s BMX or 1990 BMX frame. Just the frame alone, $5,000.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like a lot of that. Well, not a lot of that stuff, but, like, you can find some gems. Probably I got through my parents' attic or something. Who knows what the hell's in there? Like,
yeah, no, they do. People like refurbish it and then sell it for a bunch of money. I follow this guy on Instagram. I don't want to look him up, but he like refurbishes one. I hit him up. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to find a picture of my bike, but you know, we didn't have fucking cameras back. I was in Mexico in the 1980s, dude.
I always wonder how much of that is, like, people. Is it like studios and movie theaters? Like, I always wonder how they keep, like, you know, they do some movie from back in the 60s. Like, where is they just have that in, like, a warehouse, like, all this stuff, so they just turn this whole thing into, like, the 60s.
By now, yeah.
I wonder how much of that is them just, like, buying stuff up like that. And I mean, it's probably individual people more, but
yeah, by now a lot.
Curious.
And I think that if you film like a 1960s movies and then you're going down the street, like, the amount of cars that are parked, like, don't even have engines in them. They just have wheels and paint on them.
Yeah. No,
you can find
true.
those like in any junkyard, and then just, like,
Yeah.
you know.
I just always
sand
think
them.
it's crazy when, like, a movie does that really well. I'm like,
Yeah.
where do you get all this stuff?
I don't know.
Like,
It's crazy. I find it crazier when they invent shit that's going to be here in the future.
yeah.
Let's take a quick commercial break. Let's say hi to sponsors, and then we'll be right back. The first sponsor this week is none other than Coinbase, coming back for a second time on the podcast, and certainly appreciate them. Look, cryptocurrency, way of the future, Web3, what is it? I'll tell you what it is. It is a wave that is 1,000 feet high, and everybody can see it in the distance, and they know it's coming, and they know it's going to crash upon us, but people are still choosing to ignore it and not prepare for it. Like, this is... the more I dive deep into this thing, like, the more my mind and brain expands into the possibilities of what this new thing is. So, look, if you identify as crypto curious, if you thought about entering the world of cryptocurrency but felt a little bit overwhelmed, I don't understand it. How can something that's somewhere and not in reality be worth something? Coinbase makes it easy to learn, makes it fun and simple to buy and sell crypto. Cryptocurrency might feel like a secret or exclusive club, but Coinbase believes that everyone everywhere should be able to get in the door. Whether you've been trading for years or just getting started, Coinbase can help you. Much coin, such base, right, is the term. Coinbase makes it quick and easy for you to start your own portfolio and learn to trade like a pro. Right? If you've been following the cryptocurrency craze, now is the time to start getting involved, right? How many times have you heard something and been like, oh my God, I heard about that in the very early beginning. I wish I would have acted. Well, this is your opportunity to act on that. Coinbase offers a trusted and easy platform to buy and sell cryptocurrency. It's as simple as that. They support the most popular digital currencies on the market, right, and make it easily and accessible to everyone, everywhere. They offer portfolio management and protection, learning resources, and a mobile application so you can trade securely and monitor your crypto all in one place from the safety of your cushiony sofa or while you are at work. Whether you're looking to diversify your portfolio, just getting started, or searching for a better way to access crypto markets, you can start today with Coinbase. For a limited time, new users can get $10 in free Bitcoin when you sign up today at coinbase.com/EAVESDROP. That's coinbase.com/eavesdrop. For a limited time, right? Everybody that's listening to this podcast, take the time, download Coinbase, get your free $10 in crypto. You could literally be getting paid thousands of dollars and you don't even know right now. And this is speculative, right? I'm not saying that that's exactly what it is, but you can literally, this $10 can turn into something so much more. So go get that free 10 in Bitcoin, and maybe this will get you jump started in something that you might be passionate about in the future, something that interests you, something that piques your interest enough to switch over of what you're doing right now to play a different sort of video game, if you know what I'm saying. Sign up at coinbase.com/eavesdrop for $10 in free Bitcoin, as I just mentioned. The offer is limited time only, so be sure to sign up today. That is coinbase.com/EAVESDROP. Don't play don't games. If you're about your paper, you are about to go on an adventure that you don't even know. So get started. Don't get left behind. Trust me. All right. Second sponsor of the podcast today is Surfshark. This episode is brought to you by Surfshark. The internet is getting more and more dangerous by the second. We know that, right? Hackers have more ways to target you than ever before. Trackers are following everyone, and malware is hiding all over the web. Luckily, there is a solution. You can get a VPN that will hide your real location, make it more difficult to identify and target. And you guys have heard me talk about this before. But privacy and security are not all that Surfshark has to offer. If you use a VPN, you will forget about the geo restrictions. You'll be able to access everything from news sources to social media applications that are unavailable to you because of your location. Just change your virtual location and access all the entertainment that you want safely and securely. Well, what does that mean, right? If you happen to have Netflix in the United States, it is not the same as a Netflix in Australia. Some shows get siphoned out to different areas and removed from the platform that you have right now. They'll take them out of one library and put them onto the other one. So if you want to watch The Office, which you no longer can here in the United States, what you can do is you can find which country is currently showing The Office, change your VPN to something like that, and watch. And it doesn't just have to be with The Office, right? It can be with any other favorite shows of yours that are no longer on Netflix or any other platforms, Hulu, you name it. And you can try out Surfshark completely risk-free because they're offering a 30-day money-back guarantee today. If you get Surfshark VPN at surfshark.deals/hex with a 3, that is surfshark.deals/hex. Use promo code HEX for 83% off and 3 extra months for free. That's surfshark.deals/hex. That's H3CZ. Anyway, the link will be in the description down below to make it easier for you to click. Just apply it, HEX with a 3 at checkout as the promo code for 83% off and 3 extra months for free. Check it out. Give it a shot. You'll enjoy it. Trust me. You'll be able to do a bunch of stuff and at the same time protect yourself. Last but certainly not least, we have Trade Coffee, and gosh darn it, do I like my coffee in the morning. And I'm not a heavy coffee drinker, but when I do, you better believe it's high quality stuff. And to be truthful, right now, like 90% of coffee from the grocery store is actually stale. You heard it right, right? Like coffee that you get has been on the shelf for a very long time and doesn't necessarily give you the same freshness that this opportunity will provide you, right? Instead of rebuying the same old, let Trade Coffee send you something freshly roasted that you're literally guaranteed to love. How do you take your coffee? A full body roast, something light. We have all kinds of preferences, and no matter what you love to drink, Trade Coffee makes it easy for you to brew your best cup of coffee at home. I'm a light roast kind of guy. Right, I do it light, and I add milk to mine. I grew up in Mexico. That's how we drank it. Café con leche. It's a thing. So I'm excited to try these out, especially right now because we just dropped our coffee line. Like this, obviously falls within the lines of what we've been doing. So Trade sells the freshest roasted and ethically sourced beans from America's best independent roasters. They ship free to you as often as you like, whole or ground. Whether you're a coffee nerd or just want a better daily cup of coffee, as I do. I'm not no Blake Sizzle, right? I'm not part of TST Blake's coffee club where he does his own pour over and all that stuff, but I do like a cup of coffee. I won't go through all that process, but I'll certainly drink his coffee if he makes it for you, right? You take the coffee quiz to get started. Trade Coffee guarantees you'll love your first bag or they'll replace it for free. I'm going to read that again so you guys can understand this. Trade Coffee guarantees you'll love your first bag or they will swap it and replace it for absolutely free. Trade has been featured on the New York Times, Wired, GQ, and has delivered over 5 million bags of coffee to all of their customers. Their subscription is no hassle. Skip shipments, change your frequency, or cancel at any time. And right now, for our listeners of the eavesdrop right now, Trade Coffee is offering a total of $20 off your first 3 bags when you go to drinktrade.com/hex with a 3. That's H3CZ, and the link will be in the description down below to make it easy for you to try it out. That's more than 16 cups of coffee for free just to get started. Right, like immediately you're saving a bunch. You go to Starbucks every single day, spending 12. Boom, right here. Make it at home. Make it easy. Make it awesome. Make it your way and make it happy. To get started, take their quiz at drinktrade.com/hex with a 3 and start your journey to your perfect cup. That's drinktrade.com, drinktrade.com/H3GC for $20 off your first 3 bags. Go check them out. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy a cup of coffee as I am enjoying my conversation with Maven. And we are back. So
Hola.
Huge shout out to Coinbase, Surfshark, and Trade Coffee for the sponsorship. We just dropped coffee. We white labeled coffee from Free Range Coffee. Did you see that we did a coffee drop?
No. I like coffee.
Yeah, we did an Optic coffee drop. Not people, but why? Like, well, I think esports organizations nowadays are just not having enough fun. They're not doing enough weird shit that's gonna keep their fans engaged. Why coffee? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. Why did Supreme put Supreme on a brick?
Oh, everybody loves coffee. It seems like not the worst idea.
No, yeah. I mean,
you just need coffee.
I need coffee
right
because
now.
we couldn't do weed yet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Well, at the time, actually, I'm not kidding, right? At the time, it was just, me running this thing on my own, so I could have done anything and everything that I wanted, right? Yeah. But I knew that at one point I was going to have investors that may not have the same sort of vision for what the new world's going to be in the future, and I completely respect that, right? I'm not here to impose my beliefs on anyone. When I made the announcement that I was going to have a cannabis company, what was your first reaction? Were you like,
well, I guess I just thought it kind of made sense in the sense of like you've always sort of been, I think if you're involved in this industry, like I said earlier, you've kind of been on the cusp of where things are rolling with the future, and I think as that type of stuff becomes legal more and more, there's gonna be a lot of money in that. I guess it just didn't. I was like, okay, it makes sense. I mean, it's not really been my thing. Just hasn't. But like, I know it is to a lot of people when it's becoming the norm more and more. It's a lot safer than doing some other shit you could be doing. That's for sure. So
drinking.
Yeah,
you stopped drinking, man.
I stopped drinking like 4 years ago. Yeah, trust me. I wish I was smoking, not drinking. But
let me ask you this: like, how did you? How did you stop? Like, how did you find that discipline?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I thought it would be really hard, but I just like. I don't know. I guess it just clicked with me. Like, if I keep doing this thing, it's just bad for me. I'm just going to die or just feel horrible all the time. So I just like one day I woke up and just stopped. I just won too many. You know how it is when you get older, like the hangovers just get worse. I had one that I was like, no. Yeah. And just never looked back. And don't think about it. Don't want to do it. I'm good.
It's been a good 6 months since I've been fucking mega drunk. Keep me honest, man, here, but it was.
You probably felt horrible.
When was the last time that we were here, Matt? Remember that I ran into you at the thing, and it was one of the tournaments that we held here.
Yeah.
Like,
how'd you feel the next day?
Oh yeah, I'll never do that again. Oh no, it wasn't that. I went to dinner with my neighbors from across the street, and Jeff, the guy that lives across the street, and I were just going drink for drink. Like we were both drinking as I think we had like 9 old fashions.
Well, that's where it's hard when you have like, I'm like a competitive person in a way, and like when you get in that environment of friends, and it's just like you just keep going, and like I just always was. That's how it was.
It was the worst,
and it's just I said to stop. It took a while where people were like, not like pressuring me to be like, oh, come on, let's go and have a drink. But eventually everyone was just like, they got it. They're like, I'm not drinking.
Yeah, I mean, still to this day, I find it weird.
Yeah, no, it kind of is, because it's like everyone kind of drinks and in this thing. And it's very casual. And some people are good about just having a couple and hitting the sack. I just was never good about that. So I just had to call it. Yeah,
it's been a good 6 months since I've been drunk.
Good for you.
Well, and to be fair, like I was never really a big drinker. I was a social drinker. If you saw me at events, remember how frequent MLG events were? Like that was the only time I was drinking. Like I don't have like a after 5 o'clock before to go to bed glass of wine. I don't have a glass of whiskey, tequila, beer. Like that's never been my thing. I've never been that guy.
See, I was just kind of always just drinking. Like whether it was social or whether I was playing games, I feel like everything was more fun when I was drinking. Like I don't know.
And now?
Drinking water.
Yeah.
Water and some Ghost.
What is it? Tell me about that.
Some Ghost Gaming. It's sponsored Joe and I. Their product's amazing. They do like everything. It's like a lifestyle brand. They do amino acids and protein, and even this glow stuff for your skin that I haven't used, but Kat has. But no, I just like their gamer side. It's great. But no, I literally just have like, I drink water and I drink like Ghost products. That's about it, because I'm not a big soda or juice or anything fan.
I am.
But no, it took a while. The only thing that was like tough with the not drinking was like it was difficult at first to
hang out with the drunks.
Yeah, at first it was tough to just like go out and want to hang out with people, but now it's whatever. I'm good.
Yeah, well, I'll always hold you dear and near to my heart.
We had some nights. Yeah.
Yeah. I logged on to Warzone a couple of days ago, and I saw that you had the LA Thieves.
So I hadn't been sent the free. So usually we get all the skins for free. They hadn't sent it to me yet, so I just like got on. I think I was playing with like Symphony, who's like basically
100%. Yeah,
he's like in 100 Thieves, but not in 100 Thieves. He lives at the house, and he's like, I'm grabbing the Thieves. I'm like, all right, I'll match you. And I grabbed it. This Hector texts me. He's like, what the fuck is this?
No, I was like, I logged on, and I'm like, I saw LA Thieves. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I look over, and it's like Maven, and I'm like, I took a picture. I'm like, you broke something here today. I'm like, when have you ever gotten drunk with Nadeshot?
Well, actually, many times. But no, that made me laugh. Though I look at my phone, I was like, God damn it, bro.
I was like, more specifically, when have you ever gotten drunk with Nadeshot in London and walked through the fucking wildest neighborhoods ever?
Dude,
at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, so I just remember like at McDonald's, and dude, some of the nights at the Hippodrome. We had some fun times.
It was, bro. We walked for a long time to get back to our hotel.
Yeah,
we should have taken an Uber in retrospect.
Yeah, no, we're lucky to be alive. Yeah,
you're a big dude.
Well, I guess I do. Yeah, I do sort of feel it, even though I'm not like a big tough guy. Like I'm kind of a teddy bear. Like I am like 6'3", shaved head, beard. Like, hey, if you see me in an alley, you're probably not like, I want to go lay that guy out. Like
this dude and a Mexican walking by. I will say though, London dudes don't give a fuck. They'll fight. They grow up fighting. I mean, I don't know about now.
They're running at me like, you're an American. Chelsea just lost. Pulisic choked the final goal, and I just get laid out. Like, what are we doing here?
He's like, God save the Queen. Watch. That's cool. No, and then I immediately, as I was texting you, remember that you and Jack, best friends. He owns 100. So I was like, you know what?
I mean, I'd say relations-wise, yeah. I mean, the closest I have is with you guys and probably with 100 Thieves. Just because, Nate and Jack, and Jack's close pal of mine, but. Yeah, I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
No, of course not. Now that you've sort of made the transition from just being a caster to like an influencer, and you have your own sponsors that you just mentioned with Ghost Gaming. Are you thinking like are you actively thinking about what you're doing as a side hustle? Do you have a side hustle?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different projects, but it's mostly been within COD, like as far as Warzone and COD Mobile, and some different sponsored stuff on stream. But like, I just haven't been. When it boils down to, I'm not a very good streamer. Like Joe has crushed it. Joe loves to get on an hour early and talk to his stream, and Joe is all about his community, and he's very consistent with his schedule. I am more of like, I love to play video games, and I'm going to turn my stream on because it's dumb not to. And if I would play, I mean, I know when I grinded COD only, when I was playing Warzone and stuff, I would get up to 4,000 or 5,000 subs. Which for that's a good chunk of money. It is. But I just love your Path of Exiles and Lost Arks and Elden Ring type stuff, and there's only so much Call of Duty I can play before that RPG itch hits. Because as much as I love working and commentating Call of Duty, like I don't know if you know who like Co Carnage is. Co gets like 20,000 viewers and plays whatever RPGs he wants. He just plays RPGs every single day, or like an MEG, like JP or something. Like those guys that just can play. In my perfect world, I just play nerdy RPGs all day, every day. But yeah, that's kind of what always holds me back sometimes.
Well, I'll tell you what, you'd be surprised at what people would watch. All right, I'm going to tell you why. I went down this rabbit hole, call it 3 to 5 months, maybe even last year. I don't remember when it was, but I was watching people camping, and I know, here's Hector with the camping. I've talked about it for the last 3 weeks. I've talked about nothing but the camping videos because it surprised me. What surprised me about it is that no one's talking anymore. It's just humans relating to what the humans doing. So I watch Japanese camping people. I watch YYY Ace Camp, Yas Camp. I watch this dude named Tabby, but I don't know what.
So you're saying you're watching while you're streaming? You're watching?
No. I'm just consuming content. It's a consumer of content.
Because that's a different topic.
But so I started to watch those, and I started to see like TA Outdoors, this English dude. I think he's from England, and his father built a cabin in the woods made out of pallet, like pallets.
Yeah.
But they didn't talk the whole time. It was just hammers and nails, saws, hammers and nails, saws, scraping the ground. And I was just like, I was so engaged in what was happening, and there was no conversation happening at all. I was just listening to sounds. From there, Google or YouTube's algorithm suggested to me a 4-hour-long Minecraft video that said, building a relaxing cabin in rainfall. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it had like fucking 500,000 views. I'm like, what the fuck? So I click on it, and guess what?
For 4 hours, you probably watched it.
It's just one dude building, not talking, just fucking chopping, like literally no music, well, obviously the Minecraft music, but there was no conversation happening. So I think that there is a world in which you can literally just, don't even name it Maven if you don't want to. And people will watch you just fucking zonk out for hours.
No, there are people that will. It's just, I guess I just know if I really wanted to grow the thing the best I could, I just play COD nonstop, and I'd be way more consistent. I'm just bad at it.
Call of Duty?
No, just bad at being consistent with playing Call of Duty sometimes. Am I bad at Call of Duty? Some days, yes. Some days, no.
Sometimes good, sometimes shit.
That really varies, but Lost Ark's just got me by the...
Yeah? What is it? What's Lost Ark?
It's basically like a kind of World of Warcraft, but meets like Diablo sort of with or more almost like League of Legends type combat, but it's a free-to-play like MMO that's come out recently, and it's been holding like 1 million concurrent on Steam every day. It like
Insane.
surpassed like CSGO is like the most played. No, it's like consuming the world. And it came out in Korea 2 years ago. It just came out in this like stateside. But yeah, no, it's been, it just got me hooked.
Back in the day, Jericho, T Martin, Syndicate, some other YouTuber, at 3 Blacked Out with what's his name?
Luke?
My brother Luke.
Yeah, Luke.
Stapleton.
Luke's the man. I love that man.
Yeah. Have you seen his eyebrows lately?
No.
Bro, they're like this.
Oh, his
eyebrows, not eyelashes, eyebrows.
No,
like they're long.
Yeah, I don't know how it's even possible, but no.
They're long. And anyway, long story short, they made a
Gandalf,
game.
dude.
They made a game called Zombie Killer Squad, ZKS.
Okay.
And you could be any character. You could be Gold Glove. I don't know, Jericho. I don't even know who was in it, but you can be Syndicate. You could be whoever.
Yeah. And
they killed it. And I'm like, since then, no one has come out with a video game like themselves, right? Like you saw. Did Fortress ever come out by Jordan? What's his name? Fucking Pros Don't Talk Shit, also known as Captain Sparkles. Anyway, what I'm getting is that at one point, FaZe and I Banks and I were gonna fly to Seattle. Do you remember that game, Blacklight Tango Down? It was a first-person shooter.
Yes, I remember it was. Was it free to play?
Yes, feel like, on the Xbox 360.
Yes, yeah, I remember that. I never really played it, but I remember it.
It was fun.
I remember being a thing. Yeah,
it was fun. Anyway, Banks and I one time were on a phone call, on a Skype call, and we were just fucking talking. Yo, we gotta fucking make a game together, right? Like we can make a spy versus spy sort of thing, like FaZe versus Optic, and you promote it, we'll promote it. And this is like 2014, right? Like peak shit.
Yeah. Ah, shit probably would have popped, honestly.
Yeah. And it was gonna be with Black Light Tango down, and since it was free to play, it was gonna make it easier for us to sell the skins and then do like all this other different shit. But we never got around to it, and no one has done that since then, right? So I'm like, why? What's the apprehension? Like, it can't cost that much to make a fucking video game nowadays. Or yeah, right. I mean, what?
Probably costs a lot
Dr.
to
D?
make. Probably costs a lot to make a good video game. But
Yeah, Dr. D. I mean, fuck. What about Flappy Bird?
well, something like that. No, yeah. Well, I'm sure some mobile games cost infinitely more than others, but to make like a basic mobile game or something,
Yeah.
probably find a good designer or something. It probably can't cost that much.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
think, but I've never made a game before. So
What would you make a game if you had the opportunity to make a game?
if I could make a game,
Yeah. Would it be MMO, shooter, mobile?
no, it'd be like an RPG, like a Final Fantasy type game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be some weird shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set in space.
No, some like fantasy land, dude. We got dragons and
Yeah, there could be
talking
space
trees and
dragons,
shit and sorcery.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't know.
Potions?
I don't know what I'd make, but it'd
Witches?
be dirty. Oh yeah, there'd be some goddamn witches.
Yeah.
But no, that's
You know?
it'd be something real nerdy.
I don't know what I would make. I would probably make a shooter or like a survival game. Like I wouldn't make a fishing game. I would not make a fishing game.
I've been fishing a lot in Lost Art.
Yeah. Well,
That's
if you
the
ever
thing.
want to go, like
That's the
actually
thing.
go fishing,
It's
like
really
I
easy.
have,
Hit E to throw it out there. Hit E to bring it back in when the fish goes down. You hope a goldfish comes in, you get more fish. Then you use those fish to make some food.
Matt has never been. You hadn't been fishing ever, right? Up until I took you. Caught 4 fish and the biggest fish of the day.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be
How
honest.
fun was it, Matt? Yeah, you got to come with, man.
I don't have the patience for that shit. I'll be honest with you.
You don't know.
I tried to go fishing when I was younger multiple times with my grandpa or like friends.
Your
and
grandpa's not as fun as
I just wanted to
Papa
just
Hex.
take out a shotgun and
Oh man, you can't kill the fish. You got to selfie.
listen. I'm just telling you, this is me when I was like 13, man. That's all I could think about. Like, why am I doing it? I'll just shoot the fish.
Yeah. No, you can't see
Like
the fish.
lob a grenade in there.
You can't see the fish. No, you're not getting them to do that. All right. So, any upcoming projects that you have going on? I mean, obviously. Well, let's talk about before we go off. What's the real reason that you didn't get signed on? And you don't have to answer that. I just need to know the
I
title.
can't be fully transparent on some stuff, but it's been one. I'm happy to be back. It's awesome. The fans showing Joe and I some love and support was amazing. I think we've been around a long time, and sometimes when you've been around a long time, the only vocal people are the negative ones because they just expect you to be there and show up each day. And when Joe and I not being a part of his reality, suddenly, I mean, I was
People
overwhelmed.
were mad at you guys for not. Oh,
No. Suddenly, just the support was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
As people coming out of the woodworks, it was really, really awesome. But it's been weird, man. So like, when the CDL first became a thing, there's a lot of talk with when Johanna and Carlton, our first talent manager, there's a lot of talk about like long-term stuff, and it just never really happened. And we're going through this bullshit every year, and we're 3 years in. We've had 3 different talent managers, and not that they haven't all been great people, but we're literally changing goddamn talent managers every year, and that's the people that we like figure this stuff out with. And I think I kind of alluded to this in my original tweet. I'm not always the easiest person to work with. I want things to be good. I want things to improve. I want people to be motivated. And I will bump heads with people sometimes. And I think that some of the newer people that maybe came in from, not endemic, not really on the esports side, I got into it the most with. And I think I maybe burned some bridges for myself, which, stuff's been getting mended, and I think stuff's been getting fixed. But there's, without saying too much, like there's just a political side to everything, man.
Yeah.
There just is. And there was some stuff to work on. And then part of it was just as simple as, I'm sure budget was a thing. I'm sure that's part of it 100%. But it was just weird. I was getting pissed off and frustrated because like, everyone was kind of announcing they were being involved. And like Joe and I hadn't even talked to anyone at that point. And I was just like, what in the world? But then once I sort of tweeted, and once the community started to react, conversations started to get rolling a little bit more, and then it was just sort of we had to figure out what made sense, because just to be transparent on this, like we weren't offered to do the full thing. That was never never on the table. And I think that probably mostly came down to a budget thing. And at first I was pissed. I was just like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, you know, I've not to have an ego, but I've come in the face of this thing for a long time. You know, I was promised this and that, and well, why? Well, what are we doing here? And with that comes, you know, you get an offer that's so much less than you've been paid in the past. And I was frustrated, but I think we got to a point that, I think we could be back at a full-time capacity down the road 100%, but it's just, for now, you know, we're doing the majors, we're doing champs. I'm going to come in. We're the Bash Brothers. We're going to have some fun. We're going to enjoy ourselves, and we're gonna hope to do a really good job for the fans. But it could end up being great. The more I thought about it, I was pissed off at first, but the more I thought about it, like, Joe's been killing on the streaming side. I've needed to broaden my horizon and work on other games in the first place. I need to be more consistent with streaming, where it's very hard during the year when we're doing everything. Like, my sub count just drops. The consistency of my streams just drop. This gives us some freedom to do stuff, and that was the good thing about this. Like, we are here for those 6 weekends. Outside of that, I do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And that was obviously what took some time to figure out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's without getting too into the nitty gritty. That's kind of the basis of it.
You mean that, like, you would like to cast other games, but you can't because of the contract that you have? Or?
No, I can't. I can do whatever I want now.
Okay.
So that's why I kind of tweeted in the thing, like, listen, there's league matches going on, and I'm streaming or I'm commentating over another game. Like, listen, I'm sorry, but just to be completely transparent with that, like, I have a lot of money to make up that I made last year and the year prior and the year before that I'm no longer making because I'm doing a lot less. So I have to work on other stuff. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
So there's probably some people aren't going to love that if it's a, you know, Friday night, there's a league match going on and my ass is working on Apex or something, but who knows? That might be a thing.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad to still be involved. I mean, Call of Duty is my home. I love this shit. And I'm glad I got figured out.
People don't get it internally. New people internally don't get that. New people internally don't get the fact that you can love a game and still be hypercritical of the game and the way things are ran. And people are like, yeah, you just like have never, you've always been criticized. I loved Call of Duty. It changed my life from day one. Now you could argue that Minecraft was the one that really propelled us, but like Call of Duty 2 is where I started. That's where I fell in love with video games. In Call of Duty 2, not in fucking Resident Evil that I played in high school, not in SOCOM that I played in high school, not, you know, for a couple of hours, nothing the way it is now. But when you criticize the game, sometimes criticism comes from a place of love.
It always did. And like, I was just always the guy, like, if the talent had an issue with something, I was the one that would bring it to the table. I was the one to fight the battles. I've always been the person that would fight the wars for it's simple stuff, like call times, like any little thing with the talent. And then if it came to bigger production stuff, you know, and I guess I just could have handled it better in the sense of I was used to having MLG or Esports Engine, where Adam and Ryan Thompson, these are guys that I have bumped heads with, and we've yelled at each other at a bar before and worked to, you know, all of them work to improve things. But you know, there were a lot of new faces, and you know, I probably could have handled it better. But it just led to a point where I was just so frustrated with, I guess, you know, we had more money. From a budget standpoint, we had more people, more staff than ever. We had more money than ever. And I just wasn't satisfied with where the broadcast was. I thought it could have been a lot better, a lot of things. And I just kept fighting. And I'm sure it, rubbed some people wrong, but that's just how I am, man.
Yeah.
I just want it to be better.
Can't apologize for being passionate about something. That's what I never got. When people got mad at me for complaining or for calling out the league on certain things. Like, people are like, man, you know, you shouldn't do that because like it shows the fans that
somebody's gotta, like, if everyone just tiptoes the fuck around and never like tells people shit they don't want to hear, what happens is everything stays average. Like, and sometimes I gotta be that guy. Like, just be like, listen, I know you thought that was dope. It fucking wasn't.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I care about people's feelings too much to tell them exactly what I'm thinking at all times.
No, I know. Right, that's
Matt?
How I am. And it's just like, I guess, I don't know, maybe sometimes I just gotta learn to find a better way of doing that, I guess. But the fact is, community had our back. It was amazing. And just thank you to all the fans. Like, it was, dude, and they started to roar when Joe and I first went up there. Like, I looked over at Joe, had a fucking tear in his eye. I was just like, we're back, baby.
How about that crowd yesterday?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, dude, I just couldn't believe like how for your match how awesome it was, and then just like I didn't even think there were that many people in there, but when they first saw Joe and I up there, just how loud it got, like it was just I had chills, man. It was.
You want to know what happened? Throughout the years of people, and including us North Americans, saying that the English have a better fan base because they're loud, I think that little by little, people in the United States are like, well, we can be fucking loud too.
They got pissed off.
And we're good at sports too, and we're competitive at sports too. So shout out to the UK folk who are tremendous fans for sort of like bringing something to the table that allowed everybody else here who already wanted to cheer and be loud that couldn't because of whatever reason. But now that they're here, boy, are they loud.
I still wanted champs in London, though, bro.
Do you?
As much as, like, London, listen, it's all right. People love London.
I love London.
I
Not
like,
the food.
I like London. I'm just like, I don't know. I guess I
don't think you can like London anymore because you don't drink.
No, I like it. I just don't love it like some people do. But, like, I want a champs there because I know how insane that'll be.
Yeah.
Mostly because everyone's just gonna be hammered, like just screaming and enjoying themselves. Like that'd be a lot of fun.
Okay, well, listen, I'm excited to see where this thing goes. I'm so glad to have you back.
Thanks, pal.
I did behind the scenes say, what the fuck is going on?
Why I appreciate that. Because I was sort of thinking that too.
Yeah, it's but I'm glad. We'll have you for however much we can have you, and hopefully next year we can
hopefully forever. I mean, Joe and I love this shit, man. We want to keep commentating forever, and who knows? Maybe just doing majors and stuff makes sense. We'll see how it goes this year. We're trying it out.
All right.
Well, I love you.
Everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed the video, do not leave without leaving a like. All his information will be in the description down below. Be sure to follow him. The more followers he has, the more power you give him from an influencer standpoint to be able to get the job that he wants and the pay that he deserves. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye.